Imagine a place where the weight of the world tries to crush you like a soda can, and the cold is so absolute it freezes time itself. Your scans the stars for alien life, but the most terrifying entities on Earth were born in the total darkness beneath your feet. Today, we enter the void. Welcome to Deep Blue Chronicles. In the deep, dark reaches of the Midnight Zone, there is a secret language that only one predator speaks. Imagine being an organism in a world where almost every creature is colorblind to red light. To them, red is a shadow. It simply doesn't exist. Now imagine a monster that has evolved to use this invisible color as a deadly weapon. Meet the Stoplight Loosejaw. This entity possesses two glowing patches under its eyes. One shines a brilliant green, like a common deep-sea beacon, but the other emits a deep, piercing red light. In the abyss, this is the equivalent of a sniper using an infrared laser in a world without night vision. The Loosejaw shines its red searchlight on unsuspecting prey, seeing them clearly in the dark, while the victims remain blissfully unaware that they are being watched by a fanged ghost. But the wow factor of the Loosejaw doesn't end with its light. Look at its jaw. It is not just a mouth, it is an industrial trap designed for a world where food is a miracle. The Loosejaw's throat is entirely open. There is no floor to its mouth, which allows it to lunge through the water with zero resistance. It can extend its jaw forward with lightning speed, snapping shut on prey that are nearly its own size. Because its head is not directly attached to its spine in a traditional way, it can unhinge its skull to swallow giants. Watching a Loosejaw hunt is like witnessing a mechanical nightmare, a creature that has rewritten the laws of optics and physics to become the ultimate invisible assassin. It lives in a blue world, but it rules in the red, guarding the forbidden secrets of the void with a gaze that no one sees coming. On the silty seafloor, hidden inside abandoned shells or old bottles, lives a tiny entity that hides a cosmic horror within its face. At first glance, the sarcastic Fringehead looks like a common, grumpy fish, but do not be fooled by its small size. This creature is the embodiment of territorial rage. When a rival approaches its home, the Fringehead doesn't just bite. It undergoes a transformation that looks like a scene from an alien invasion movie. It opens its mouth, and what was once a small face suddenly expands into a massive, neon-colored parachute of fangs and flesh. Its jaw is larger than its own head, spreading wide like a blooming flower of death to intimidate anything that dares to look its way. This isn't just a display. It is a declaration of absolute dominance. When two Fringeheads fight for territory, they engage in what scientists call mouth wrestling. They press their massive, distended jaws against each other like two alien ships docking in space, testing who has the larger gape. It is a primitive, brutal ballet of bone and muscle. Their eyes are dark and focused, filled with a primal intensity that defies their small bodies. The Fringehead reminds us that in the ocean, form is often a lie. It is a biological transformer, a creature that keeps its true power hidden until the moment of conflict. To see a Fringehead expand its face is to see the raw, aggressive imagination of evolution. A tiny knight guarding its bottle with a mask of terror that can stop a predator in its tracks. Floating through the absolute void of the bathypelagic zone like a ghost made of liquid crystal, the telescope octopus is the ocean's silent watcher. While every other octopus has eyes on the sides of its head, this entity has evolved something truly unique: tubular, telescope-like eyes that protrude upward and can rotate independently. It doesn't look at its world, it scans it like a living radar system. These eyes are designed to capture the faintest glimmers of bioluminescence, or the silhouettes of prey swimming far above in the twilight. In a world where light is a luxury, the telescope octopus has built its entire existence around the art of seeing the unseen. It is nearly transparent, a shimmering phantom that drifts vertically through the water column. Its 8 tentacles are joined by a delicate web of skin, making it look like a floating umbrella of nerves and light. Unlike its cousins in the shallows, it doesn't hide in holes or change colors. It hides in plain sight by being nothing at all. It is a master of the vertical migration, moving between the crushing depths and the upper shadows like a spectral elevator. Watching a telescope octopus rotate its glowing, tubular eyes in the darkness is a humbling experience. It is a witness to the abyss, a tiny entity that has mastered the silence of the blue by watching the void from every possible angle. It is the invisible ghost of the trenches, a creature that proves that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do in the dark is simply watch. Imagine living on the side of a volcanic chimney where the water temperature fluctuates between freezing cold and hot enough to boil your blood. This is the world of the Pompeii worm, perhaps the most heat-tolerant complex animal on the planet. Found near hydrothermal vents thousands of meters deep, these worms live in a landscape of toxic chemicals and tectonic fury. They build tubes on the edges of these vents, where their tails are exposed to temperatures of over 80 degrees Celsius, while their heads are tucked into water that is only 20 degrees. This massive temperature gradient would destroy almost any other life form, yet the Pompeii worm thrives in the center of the furnace. What is its secret? If you look closely at its back, you will see a thick carpet of gray, hair-like structures. These aren't hairs, they are colonies of specialized bacteria that act as a thermal shield. The worm provides the bacteria with nutrients from the vent, and in return, the bacteria insulate the worm from the lethal heat. It is a symbiotic armor, a suit of living fur that allows the worm to survive at the edge of the Earth's internal fire. The Pompeii worm is a biological warrior, a creature that has conquered the most hostile environment imaginable. It is a reminder that life doesn't just exist in the abyss, it dominates. To see these red-headed worms waving from their volcanic towers is to witness the peak of evolutionary resilience, a tiny entity that has turned a literal hell into its home. Finally, we meet the rainbow pulse of the void. The comb jelly is not a true jellyfish. It is an entity from a lineage so ancient it might be the ancestor of all animals. As it drifts through the dark, its body is lined with 8 rows of tiny hair-like structures called teens. When these hairs beat to propel the animal, they create a breathtaking optical phenomenon. They refract light like a prism, sending ripples of neon rainbow colors pulsing along the creature's body. This isn't bioluminescence, it is the physics of light dancing on the edge of biology. In the absolute blackness, a comb jelly looks like a pulsing neon spacecraft from a distant galaxy. But beauty in the abyss is always a trap. The comb jelly is a silent, gelatinous predator. It doesn't have stinging cells like a jellyfish. Instead, it uses colloblasts, sticky cells that snag prey like biological glue. Some species have 2 long, trailing tentacles that they use like fishing lines, while others simply swallow their victims whole with a mouth that occupies half their body. They are the vacuum cleaners of the current, transparent engines of consumption that glow with the colors of a star. To see a swarm of comb jellies moving through the void is to see a celestial ballet. They are the shimmering royalty of the abyss, entities that prove that even in a world without sun, life can create its own light and its own rainbow. The abyss is not a graveyard of the past, but a gallery of the impossible. These 5 entities remind us that the more we explore, the more our ocean will surprise us. Which of these illegal designs made you say, "Wow," the most? Let us know in the comments. If you are ready to dive even deeper into the Chronicles of the Deep, hit the like button and subscribe to Deep Blue Chronicles. Click the video on your screen now to see more marine mysteries. Thank you for watching, and keep exploring the Chronicles of the Blue.